Hello everybody, good afternoon, how are you? So, I am dressed in my winter clothes. Somehow, some way, for a good reason, and I believe because of the energies of the full moon in Scorpio, we went back to Scorpio period during November. We are in the first weekend of May, and here in Greece we have almost winter temperatures, and we had snow in almost all mountains in Greece. So, what happened? First of all, I believe that the energies of Scorpio, the shadow aspect of Scorpio. By the way, I am Fotini. I'm talking to you from Athens, Greece. I'm a self-knowledge consultant, esoteric astrologer, an activator of higher consciousness, and I'm getting the energies of the High Priestess. So I was saying that the shadow aspect of Scorpio is manipulation, is control. The ruler is Pluto. The older ruler is Mars. Scorpio is mainly a masculine sign. The better word to describe Scorpio is emasculated feminine, because the element is water, which is the feminine energy, but the rulers of the sign are masculine. The esoteric ruler, according to esoteric astrology, is Mercury, and the hierarchical ruler is Uranus. Uranus is exalted in Scorpio, the grandfather of Pluto. And Uranus is exactly in the 0-degree Gemini for that lunation, the Vesak. And it's actually the third eye, the eye of wisdom, looking from above what is happening in the sacral and root chakra, because the root chakra is ruled by Pluto and the sacral chakra is also ruled by Pluto, because it's the sexual chakra of the body. The root chakra is ruled by Pluto and by Saturn. Saturn is in Aries right now, and it was in a formation with this full moon. So, how can you see truly? You have to have the bird's eye view. The ruler, the sacred animal totem of Scorpio is the eagle, but it's also the snake, and it's also I forgot the English name of the third animal, but it's okay. The crocodile. Three totem animals: snake, crocodile, eagle, and then we have the phoenix. Phoenix is like Uranus. Phoenix is not animal. It's not a totem, but it's the symbol in ancient Egypt of a mystical bird that could see from above. And it actually has the transformational energy of Scorpio. What my higher self communicated today, the second day, because we are within 48 hours from the time of the full moon, he said to me something. Most of us believe that Scorpio has to do with death, because the ruler is Pluto. But the actual energy of Scorpio is not death, it's transformation. Because in the universe we don't have death. And we have to understand that, because right now the formation with Saturn in Aries, according to esoteric astrology, is all about understanding within the mind that there is no death, because there is continuation of life. We are moving from one incarnation to another, so there is no death. There is only the fear of death. And the fear of death, it is what pushes our lives to be a certain way. For example, I fear death, so I have to save money. I fear death, so I have to be careful. I fear death, so I have to do blah, 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 blah. When, in actuality, what the energy is doing is changing forms, transforming from one form to another. And we can see that in nature. There is no death in nature. There is no such thing as death in nature. We are seeing the transformation of the energy. The seed becomes the tree, and the tree then goes back to earth and then becomes the seed, and then we have another tree, and so on. And so there is a continuation. So perceiving death is what the physical eyes see. But that's why we have Uranus, the Father God, the third eye, seeing everything from above. And so just like that, we are in winter right now in Greece. We have temperatures of November, and we have snow, and everybody is crazy about that. I set aside that the weather, as everything upon earth right now, is being manipulated because they want control. In what do you think? Your mental plane. How you perceive reality. And what you think you can create through your mind. Because if they take control of your mind, then you are a slave. And of course I'm not me that it's saying that. George Orwell said that 40 years ago, 30 years ago, just mentioning one book. But actually the spiritual meaning of the Vesak is exactly that the mental plane is being manipulated through many ways. And weather is one of them, for example, because if you cannot see the sun, you get depressed, you say, oh, everything got crazy, oh, we are living in apocalypse, oh, something bad will happen, blah, 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 blah. And so you lose your courage, you lose yourself, and you either use substances, which is ruled by Pluto and by Scorpio, or you stay where you are and nothing is ever going to change in your life. Now, yesterday I went to have a coffee with a friend that I met through Instagram, not Greek, and she was describing me the Greeks. especially women. And it was so funny to hear what I was saying for years about women in Greece, coming from another person that was only here for 1 year. And the perspective was so accurate. It isn't that I didn't know that. She even helped me, and that was it was amazing. She even helped me distinguish two English words describing two different things that I always felt in social gatherings in Greece from women. And I'm sharing this experience and this talk because it has to do with Scorpio, and it is one of the poison of Scorpio. And the words were jealous and envy. And while we were talking, I said to her, listen, I don't see something bad with jealousy. Yes, it's a human emotion. I can understand that. Okay, I feel compassion about people who are jealous because they want what the other want, and they are coming out of lack. Again, lack mindset. They don't believe that they can have the same because they say, oh, that person is better, that person is more beautiful, that person is smarter, that person is whatever. But this in itself, it's not bad because you can use it to improve yourself. So there is no such thing as jealousy. And then she told me something. Actually, she didn't say that, but I was trying to describe a behavior that it's very bad. And that behavior is what I have experienced in Greece since I was a little girl in high school, which is they don't only feel jealous, but they want to destroy you because you are whatever. And then she said, yes, this is envy. And I said, oh my God, I couldn't find the English word. And this is envy, and this is distraction, and this is Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio. And that's why you don't have actual improvement, at least in my country. Because everybody who is trying to do something good for himself or around him is being hunted. And it's because of envy. And this is destructive. And so she said to me, yes, I have experienced that, and I'm only living for 1 year. She's from Belgium, in Greece. And most of women, they want to be friends with you as long as you are like them. Not better. God forbid if you become better. And this is explained so many things about the axis Taurus Scorpio. And it has to do with being the snake, which is also a symbol of the enemy. It's also the symbol of crocodile, the shamanic animal of Scorpio. And the crocodile is between earth and water, which is also a symbol of the emotional plane and the poison of Scorpio. And then you become, if you are lucky, and not lucky, if you have worked with the energies, and you become the eagle, and you attain the eagle side, which is Uranus, and you can see what is happening, and you remove yourself from the mud. The labor of the hero Hercules in Scorpio is killing the monster with the 9 heads. And the hero did that, and Hercules did that, performed that labor by kneeling and cut the main head. And the main head is the ego. And the ego is what you have shaped as a false perception of self. So, all this beautiful conversation was held in a cafe called Dilemma. And this is exactly the word for Gemini, because the last full moon had the finger of God within the month. And what is the figure of God? We have 2 planets that are supporting or showing what must be erased. And we had Venus in Gemini, which is discernment through the higher mind. We had Saturn in Aries, that means that you have to have control of your mind. You have to know what you are talking about. And then both planets were pointing to the moon in Scorpio, which is exactly what I described. Jealousy, envy, mental fears, control, depression, pride, because you have to kneel. The hero kneeled to cut the head of the monster. Pride, loneliness, all of that are the poisons of Scorpio. And you become the Buddha, which is the Vesak. You are residing in the Buddhic plane. You are residing in the enlightened state. And from that, you are connected with the cosmic Christ. And what is the cosmic Christ? Well, this is the next full moon, which is the blue moon, that we are going to have at the last day of May. Because the cosmic Christ is when you are fully and totally liberated and you perceive humanity as it truly is, not as you wanted it to be or that you imagine it to be. And that goes with, even with your beloveds, with your family, your country, your friends, everybody. Yeshua, that means Christ, could see everybody for who it truly was. It isn't easy. And for a human to actually do that without feeling depressed, lost, devastated, because we can see all around the world that with what is happening with children, with wars, with everything, people are losing their courage to continue. They become detached. They don't really care for another because they believe that they are all lost. There aren't any causes anymore